Kari, a lot of people of color feel like they're unfairly targeted by police. You know, are they wrong to feel that way? And regardless of whether there's any merit there, what can you as a governor do to improve perception of police? You know, ensure that everybody feels like.
Can you repeat the first part of that? I missed that.
Yeah, a lot of people of color feel like they're
a lot of people
targeted.
of color. A lot of people of how many people of color have you talked to about that?
I mean, if you look at surveys.
Which surveys? I'm happy to look at those stats because I will tell you this: that I talk to people of color. I talk to all Arizonans. They're all concerned about the crime. Just because your skin isn't the same color as yours, doesn't mean you want your kids to be walking down the street in an unsafe neighborhood. Every Arizonan wants safety and security in their neighborhood. It doesn't matter what your skin color is. And if you look at stats, you will look and see that police do not target people of color. That is a lie that's been perpetuated by the left and then spread and disseminated and respread in the media. Check the stats. Check the stats.
But you don't believe that's an opinion a lot of people of color have?
I don't. I think you guys find one or two people, 3 or 4, and they're activists oftentimes, and then you spread that narrative. Go into a neighborhood and ask the people in neighborhoods that are minority neighborhoods, do you want fewer police? Do you want to defund the police? They will look at you like you are the craziest person on the planet. Nobody wants that.
And if I could follow up, look behind us. You're acting as if it's one race joined the law enforcement agencies. Law enforcement is made up of our community. Of course they have a vested interest in keeping our communities safe, and they're not targeting people based off race. This is a lie that's been perpetuated by the media and by members of this organization, and why you consistently bring this up is you seek to further divide our country. Right now what you're seeing is law enforcement is under attack, and that's why we're seeing a rise in crime. Our cities are turning into Gotham, and it's because of the job of the media has been highlighting these cases where sometimes it's an honest mistake. Law enforcement, they wear body cameras. They do every single thing right, and then all of a sudden, when there's some minor issue, you highlight it and you try to make it a bigger deal than it is, and you cause rioting on the streets. You have to honestly know how powerful your position is as a journalist. But right now it's waning, and this is why we have social media out there, which is why we're doing this press conference. But it's a shame on you to try to accuse us of saying that law enforcement is targeting people of color. People of color want law enforcement in their communities because, you know what, if you go to minority areas, they're the ones who are begging for police because they don't want their homes to be broken into. They don't want their Circle K's to be closed down. But unfortunately, the media keeps perpetuating this narrative. But look around us, these brave men and women. Do they look like racists to you? No, they're members of our community, and it's time we treat them with respect.
I'll just add one thing to that. You know, they are wearing, many of our men and women in law enforcement are now wearing body cams, and I think when we're now seeing incidents that happen, you know, we're not just capitalizing like the media did for many years when somebody took a cell phone video. You find the worst part, and you run that over and over and over and over again, but you don't run the 20 minutes that led up to that. And it's really unfortunate. You're telling a tiny sliver of the story. And it may look bad on video, but when you look back and see the 20 minutes before and what led up to that moment, almost all of the time, it admonishes the police officer. Nobody wants to be in a dangerous situation, and these men and women behind me and the people they represent deserve to go home to their wives, to their husbands, to their parents, and their children. And when I'm governor, we're going to see to it that they do make it home, and we're going to protect them. Any other questions?